Imagine you're playing a sport. But in this game, there are two types of players: the defenders and the attackers. Now picture this. You're the defender, spending your entire life just stopping the other side from scoring. You're never on the offense, never pushing toward the goal yourself. You're simply trying to stop the clock, hoping the game will end in your favor. Does that sound like a championship-winning strategy? Obviously not. But this is how many people approach wealth creation. They live their lives as defenders, obsessively protecting their money, constantly cutting back on every expense in the name of saving for some far-off future. Meanwhile, the people who succeed are out there, on the offensive, using their resources to generate explosive growth. Let's dive into why this defensive mentality is holding you back, and how you can shift to an offensive strategy that guarantees real, long-term success. The pitfalls of playing defense. In the world of finance, many people get trapped by a false belief that wealth is built through aggressive defense. They hoard their money, pinch every penny, and live as though sacrificing everything today will guarantee a rich tomorrow. They're stuck in what I like to call the defensive paradox. They think that if they just stop spending on lattes or cut back on eating out, they'll eventually hit the jackpot. But let's be honest, that's not the winning formula. Saving is important, but it's not the only thing that leads to wealth. A defense-only strategy might make you feel better about your finances, but without a serious offensive move, you're just running in place. You could save every penny for the next 30 years and still never break out of the cycle. Because here's the harsh truth. If you're not growing your income, any amount of penny pinching is futile. It's like trying to fill a leaking bucket. The defensive trap, focused on what you don't spend. Think about this. Most personal finance advice today is defensive. You'll hear the same tired tips: cut back on everything, buy used, don't go out, work 2 jobs. The problem with this approach? It turns life into a constant game of survival rather than a pursuit of freedom. You're not living. You're merely existing. And sure, it's nice to save a few bucks here and there, but at the end of the day, saving pennies won't make you rich. The math is simple. Without the right income, you can't save your way to wealth. And if your income is capped, you'll hit a ceiling no matter how many coupons you clip. Offense, the real path to wealth. Now, let's shift gears. Instead of obsessing over where to cut back, why not focus on where you can expand? That's the real power of the offensive approach. Creating an income stream so vast, so scalable, that it leaves your expenses in the dust. The offensive strategy is about leverage. Specifically, creating business systems or investments that multiply your money exponentially. This is where real wealth is made. Not by saving a little extra, here and there, but by building systems that work for you long after you've set them up. You don't need to spend your time worrying about how many dollars you're saving. Your income is growing faster than you can spend it. For example, let's say you own a business that can scale quickly, like an online service or product. With the right model, you can reach thousands, or even millions, of customers without a huge increase in your own time or energy. That's leverage at its finest. Time for money. The old broken system, one of the biggest barriers to true wealth, is what I call the time for money trap. If you're still stuck trading hours for dollars, you'll never reach the level of financial freedom you crave. Whether you're working for a paycheck or charging by the hour, your income is limited by the hours you can physically work. But when you step away from the time for money exchange, you free yourself from the limits of traditional income. The moment you invest your time into scalable ventures, where your input generates exponentially growing returns, that's when your income stops being limited by time. Think about it. If you're earning $5,000 a month today, you could focus on growing that to $50,000 or $100,000 in the next year. Instead of worrying about how to cut back, your focus shifts to making more. And as your income grows, your expenses become an afterthought. You can afford to save big percentages of your income, live a life of abundance, and even pay off debt in record time. Why offense wins the wealth game? Consider the example of an athlete. Imagine a star player in a professional sport who makes millions of dollars over the years. They're playing offense every day, but here's the kicker. If they don't manage their wealth properly, they'll end up broke. Offense alone doesn't guarantee financial success. You need defense to protect your earnings once you have them. But what's key here is that without a strong offensive strategy, you won't get to the point where defense even matters. If you want to build wealth, you must start by scaling your income massively. Once you do that, you can shift your focus to protecting your gains. That's the true power of wealth creation. Offense first, defense later. Conclusion: it's time to play offense. So what's the takeaway? Stop focusing only on cutting back. Playing defense won't make you rich. Playing offense will, by creating income streams that scale and building systems that work while you sleep. You'll see your wealth grow far beyond what you thought was possible. Forget the outdated advice about saving a little here and there. It's time to create income, not just conserve it. In the game of wealth, offense is the key to victory. And when your income grows faster than your spending, you won't just win the game, you'll be the one who defines the rules.